Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh. Today, today we are going to do our daily our weekly agenda, which is weekend English talk. Today we have a special guest here, but before we ask about our special guest, we'll need to introduce ourselves. Hi, my name is Mulya Tausen Sadida. I'm from 10 LPL. And here is my friend.
My name is Saif Muhammad Yusuf and I'm from Fendi Cafe.
Saif, do you know there is a special guest?
I don't know who is the guest this time.
He's a special guest from Indonesia, but currently studying abroad. His name is Mr. Arya. For Mr. Arya, please introduce yourself. The stage is yours.
Okay, first of all, I want to say hi and thank you for inviting me for the podcast. And okay, you can call me Arya. Currently, I'm studying Turkey in Turkey and take in a new media and communication major in Turkey right now. And this is my last year. Hopefully, I'm gonna be graduate from my university next year. Thank you.
So, Mr. Arya, can we ask some questions?
Yes, sure.
Firstly, I want to ask, how did you got into Turkey University?
So it's quite it surprised me when I got accepted to the university that I want. So how can I got accepted to here? It's like when I was in high school, I try and search about how to study in abroad, especially in a Europe country, but I'm searching like for France, Germany, and even Sweden country, but it's kind of hard because the currency or the prices is quite high. So I'm looking for the alternative, and I found Turkey, and I think Turkey is the best place for you to study because it's near from the West Europe, and studying in here it's quite challenging. It seemed like another European country, and I got here in Turkey from 2018. Yeah, 2018, and I'm gonna be finished my study for next year. So that's it.
Uh, and how did you like? How is your work? How did you get the money for your living expenses in Turkey?
Okay, how can I get money from? Of course, I'm still my family still send me like a little bit money, but another time, uh, I'm working here, like I'm doing college and working at the same times, and yeah, that's it. I'm my family still send for me, and I'm working here.
And for like daily expenses, the minimum is how many? For like eat three meals per day.
For 3 meals a day, I spend it's like one meal is like 100,000 rupiah for one meal in a day. So if one day we have a meal, you can count 300,000, something like that.
Oh, so it's not really expensive like other Europe countries.
Yeah, it's not really expensive like another country using euro or pound sterling, so it's quite cheap.
Instead, would you like tell me your experience there? Like, how is the culture there?
The culture here is totally different from Indonesia, of course. Like they are white people. It's not common in our country, right? In Indonesia. And secondly, the
Yes.
culture here, like they don't care about people businesses. It's like we can do our business or our job here without concerning people mind. So this is that's it the biggest culture that I felt here.
Do you feel like any differences from Indonesia? Like, how is the weather there? Is it hot or is it cold, colder than Indonesia?
Okay, so Turkey it has for weather for weather. So it's quite challenging for me, for us, like we living in Indonesia. Indonesia has two weather. So in here we have for weather, it's quite challenging because the weather is always changing every year. Like summer only 3 months in here, we can feel the sun, we can feel hot temperature only 3 months, and after that we feel the snow and yeah, snow and cold weather, and it's not good for us.
And do Mr. have like have much friends in Turkey, or do you still have friends from Indonesia but study abroad with Mr. in Turkey?
About my plan in the future.
No, like friend, like
Mhm.
your best friend from Indonesia
Oh,
come to
okay.
Turkey with
Okay, I got it. Um, right now, I'm just socialize with my Indonesian friends here. It's quite hard to find Turkish friends, but I have couple Turkish friends in university, but it's not really close. And yeah,
and maybe this is the last question for you. Uh, what do you like to work there? Eh, oh, do you like to work like freelancing or what? If you usually work freelancing or like doing a part-time job?
hmm, um, right now I am working in freelancing right now, but before that I also work in part-time jobs. Like I was working in a restaurant as a steward here, and right now, yeah,
Was
I'm
it
working freelancing for a travel agency company right now. For who wants to travel to
is it
Turkey,
like
then I
fun for Mr.
found
to
my company
work?
for them.
Was it fun for Mr. to work to work for a travel agency?
And what travel agencies is it's called Eurasia Travel Agencies. It's like um, a travel agency that can bring people who wants to um, get some holiday to Turkey, and we can arrange their holiday and make some places for them to stay.
And what is Mr. Future plans after Mr. graduate from college?
Okay. My plan after college, maybe I'm going back to Indonesia for 1 year or 2 years to work in there and try the confinement, the environment, their working environment. And after that, I am trying to apply work in Australia. Hopefully, that's my target for after my college year.
I have some question about the design, Mr. Arya.
Okay.
The first, can you walk you stop your design process? Can you walk you stop your design process?
Hmm. It's like how to design like my work like that.
Yes.
Okay. There is 5 points that I can share to you. Is like the first of all is a good understanding of the client's needs and goals, and then effective communication between the designer and the client, and thirdly, a well-defined scope and timeline for the project, and a strong focus on the user experience, and lastly, attention to detail in the design process.
Oh, yes, yes. And how do you handle feedback and criticism of your design?
How can handle the criticism? Like after I send the project to the client, like I'm always asking about how's my work? Do you like it, or is there anything that I can fix? And then I'm open for any question. I'm open for any criticism that my client have to my design. So the first thing comes for the design for me is like openness to the criticism and like that.
And what method do you use to understand your user?
What stand to my user is like to understand about of course, the first thing is a recommendation video. It's like if the user explain their needs to me, I need some recommendation videos that sent to me that I can design, that I can edit the video, or that can I edit the design. So I need a recommendation and some references so that I can see user needs, and that is my best method. Uh, yeah, that's my best method for me to understand what user needs.
Oh, yes. And how do you measure the success of your design?
How can I measure success for my design is I can see the feedback from the client, and if the client is said, okay, I like it, I can measure it for the project, for the final project, and I can see the measurement from in a social media that they can share my project for my final project from there.
And how do you stay up to date with current design trends?
Okay, stay up to date for the current situation for design is always using social media, using Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube, of course. I'm always using all the social media. Just follow them every day, every second.
And what is your approach to creating a design system?
What can I, how can I approach design system? So I'm not really a technical person. It's like I'm always back to what user needs, like their references of the project or the design that they want. And I'm trying to explain to them into video or photos, media, and something like that.
Uh, uh, can you describe a time when you faced a design challenge and how you resolved it?
Okay, challenge for me, it's like about the deadline time, a deadline time for send the project. So how can I do that? It's like I'm always um, see and focus on the user wants for my design, and after that I am trying to always attention to detail in every design process. So after that I can send to them and see what the feedback, because the feedback is always the important things, and from the feedback I can see and measure the successful of my project.
And can you give an example of how you have improved a user's experience in a past project?
Like examples, like uh, maybe yesterday I made some a video YouTube and some reels videos, or like a short form video, and I see I send the project and see the feedback, like I always told you guys, the feedback from the user needs and what the user wants, it's always important. And then I really want to know a scope and a timeline for the project. And then lastly, I always communicate between me as a designer and the client.
Okay, okay. Uh, what are your thoughts on the importance of accessibility in design?
What is? Can you repeat again the question?
Okay, okay. What
Okay.
are your thoughts on the importance of accessibility in design?
Oh, what is my thought? Accessibility.
Yes.
I think it's quite hard to explain it in words, but I'm trying to. What is my thought here is like design is always a flexible things to share our idea into into the digital platform. We can share our thoughts to there, and it's quite challenging. It's quite interesting. It's quite fun for me working in a design.
Oh, yes. And how do you ensure your design are you are how do you ensure your design are responsive across different devices?
Hmm. How can I? I can across many devices. Of course, that is quite challenging.
Yes.
And then maybe I'm using, of course, Google Drive to send the project. Like Google Drive, we share like that. We share. Uh, yes, especially I'm using Google Drive to send a project like that.
Uh, how do you blend user needs with business goals?
How can I? Okay. What user needs is always come first when we doing this digital art business, because right now the in a digital media it's quite race, right? And we can see the scope, we can see the trend, like people who wants to sell their product, and then who wants to share it in the social media. Of course they need a designer. It's like a video editor or content creator like that. So it's quite match, like they have what they need, so we can share about the design that they really want and share it as a marketing for them.
Okay, okay, okay. And the last question, can you describe a time when you had to advocate for a user-centered design approach?
Hmm, it's quite hard question. Can you repeat again?
Can you describe a time when you had to advocate for a user-centered design approach?
How can I tell? Okay, for me, for working in a digital medias, of course we always talk to our client, what they want, what they need, and then to see the result and see the output for design. For me, the first thing come is always communicate. what the need, what the client needs, what the client wants, and then make a good understanding to them, and after that focus on what they want, and then we turn into the media, to the art media, and lastly always see the details that the clients don't see. It's like that.
Oh, and Hasan has another question. Hasan,
Mister, like if you searching for freelance, what do you usually search? Use what social media do you usually use?
Okay. Right now, I usually use Instagram, of course. Instagram to share my project, to share what I did to my project, and then I'm using LinkedIn to showcase my project to the professional and to the agency to see what I can do, to see what I can make before.
And Mister, do you have like a friend who is an software developer or maybe a website developer who you usually use to help, like you help make the UI design and the website developer help make the website. Do you like, have a friend like that, or
Right now, I don't have a friend who works in a UI UX design, but it's like 2 years ago. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying. I trying to. I was trying to learn UI UX design. It's like just for the design, for the website design. I'm using Figma, but I think that is not for me because I think it's quite hard for me.
so Mister usually make posters and stuff, not UI UX.
Yep.
And any, this is going to be the last question. Do you have like any tips and tricks to like go to Turkey? Like, do you need to take a TOEFL test or an IELTS test to go to Turkey?
Okay. So there is many tips for studying in Turkey. First of all, you don't need to take TOEFL or IELTS test. You don't have to take because here in Turkey, you will study in university using Turkish. But there are some universities that you can take in English, and then you can take a TOEFL or IELTS. But for some of us, for most of us, we don't take a IELTS or TOEFL or some English test to get into Turkish university because we are using Turkish for daily languages. For daily language, we are using in a university.
Do Mister like learn Turkish before you go to university or when already in the university?
I learned Turkish before I get into university. It's like in 2018, I went to Turkey without knowing. Turkish at all. And after that, I'm studying. Before I get into university, we for the new students, we must to study Turkish language first. It's like for 10 to 1 year, and after we pass the Turkish language exam, and the next year we can go to the university and start studying in college.
Okay, thank you, Mister. And I think maybe that's all for me. Saif, do you have any more question or no?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Arya, for your time. And I'm sorry if I like disturb your work time or your rest time. Because right now, Mr. is already in Turkey or still in Indonesia.
Right now I'm in Turkey right now, and the time in Turkey is 10:30 a.m. right now. So before that, thank you for inviting me here, for Sai and Rosan inviting me as a speaker here for your work. I'm really grateful. I'm really want to say thank you.
And thank you for Mr. who is willingly to become a speaker and ready to answer all of our questions. And maybe that's all for this week's written English talk. I'm sorry if me or Saif have any mistakes. That's all I have to say. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.